I am a blogger and I used to neglect reading analytics data because all I care about was to create new pieces of content, but that's a huge mistake. Why? Because number one, have you heard of the saying, if you don't track, you won't improve? And that is so true. Number two, by understanding your site's analytics data, you can make informed decisions about which content to create, which topics to focus on, and even optimizing your existing content for better engagement and search engine rankings. So in this video, we are all about helping you make the most out of your site's data through our analytics module. Let's go. Hey, it's Jack from Rank Math, where we strive to provide you with the most cutting-edge WordPress SEO tools, and on this channel, we are all about helping you grow your search traffic. So if you're new to our channel, consider subscribing. Now, to make the most out of our analytics module, we highly recommend that you get the pro version of Rank Math. Because with that, we track a lot more data and provide a lot more analytics features, which we'll be talking about in a while. So if you don't have a pro account yet, go to our site and get it. And there are a lot more to come. Anyway, once you have the pro account, install Rank Math Pro on your site and we are good to go. But let's first talk about something important. There will be times where you see discrepancies between Rank Math Analytics data and the data you see from Google Search Console and Google Analytics, and the most prominent reason is that Rank Math only takes into account the number of page views from Google searches only, while on Google Analytics, it takes into account all the organic traffic sources such as the traffic you get from social media and such. And why is this beneficial? Because this way, you can truly track the search performance of your site without the interference of other traffic data. So you might see your traffic numbers in Rank Math much lower than your Google Analytics, but don't be alarmed by that. There are other reasons as well, such as these. And if you want to go into detail on what these are, feel free to check out this page on our site. The link is in the description. Now, before everything else, let's start by connecting your Google account with Rank Math so that we can access the data and display it in our analytics module. As a new Rank Math user, if you have not gone through the setup wizard yet on the Rank Math's dashboard, we highly recommend that you do so, because one of the steps is for you to connect Rank Math with your Google services so that the data from Search Console and Analytics can be imported to your site. But if you have already done the setup wizard, the alternative method to connect Rank Math to your Google properties is to head over to Rank Math's general settings and analytics. Then you want to hit connect your Rank Math account and you'll be directed to this page. If you don't have a Rank Math account, go register for one because it is free and it brings other benefits such as 5 free credits to our content AI, in-depth SEO analysis, and more. You can check out the benefits through this link. Once you have picked your Rank Math account to connect with Google services, it will ask you to choose the Google account you want to connect with Rank Math. Take note that this is the Google account that should hold your site's Search Console and Analytics data. If you have not created or connected your Search Console with your site, don't worry, we will do that for you as soon as you go through the steps. It will ask for all these permissions so that Rank Math can access your data. It is important to check all these boxes so that we can do our job properly. And you want to click continue. Now, if you have been following our channel, you know that we take your privacy very seriously. All we do is draw the information from your Search Console and Google Analytics and store them on your server. We don't even look, so don't worry about checking those boxes. Once you have connected your Rank Math account with your Google services, you should be able to select the site that is connected to your Search Console. Rank Math automatically connects your site with Search Console, so don't be surprised by that. You don't even need to lift a finger to do all the manual connection like verifying your site through adding snippets of code, which is rather complicated for some beginners, so we streamline that process for you. And then you have the option to display the data from a specific country you have selected. If your site does not require any country-specific data, you can select the worldwide option. Now you see this enable the index status tab toggle. You want to make sure that it is toggled on so that you will see this index status tab on the analytics module, which we will be discussing in a while. Next, on the analytics options, if you have not created your Google Analytics account, you've got to create one. It's a very simple process. Go to Google Analytics. Make sure that this Google account is the one that you have connected with Rank Math. Click on Start Measuring. Then you want to give your account a name. You can put your business or brand name and analytics. This is totally up to you. And then if you want to share your site's data with Google, you can check this. Otherwise, leave it empty. I'll leave the rest of the default settings as it is to get the most out of Google Analytics. And then click Next. Now you can create a new property for tracking. Let's give it a name, say your brand name, and data. There is really no restrictions on how you want to name it. Select your reporting time zone because the analytics data will be consolidated each day and the time zone will tell Google Analytics what is the daily cutoff time. The currency is mainly for e-commerce and advertising purposes, so it's best to follow your business accounting currency for easy reference. Then click Next, fill up some details about your business, and create your Google Analytics account. Select the country you or your business is residing in, check this, and click I accept. And now your Google Analytics account and property are created. Head back to RankMath, and now you want to reconnect your Google account again so that the changes will be reflected. Thereafter, you should see your Google Analytics account here. You want to select the property you just created, or you can simply have RankMath create one for you. We recommend having just one property for one site, otherwise it will be confusing for you. But for the sake of demonstration, I'll create another. And this is the property RankMath has created for me. It is just that simple. Select the data stream, it's gonna be website, because we are collecting the data from your website instead of an app. And similarly, you can select the country-specific data to be displayed. Let me quickly show you one example of displaying country-specific data set. For example, currently we have the worldwide data stored on this site. In case you wish to display only the data from, for example, the Philippines, you need to reconnect the Google account and select the specific country for both the Search Console and the Analytics. We'll talk about this in a while, but let's first save changes. One more step. You want to make sure to delete the current data that are stored on your server and manually fetch the data again. Give it some time, and as you visit the Google Analytics account and say we select the SEO Performance tab, we will see the analytics data specific to the Philippines. So it really depends on what data you wish to display. Back to connecting with the worldwide data, you can have RankMath install the analytics code for you. Take note of this. If you already have a plugin or theme that has your Google Analytics code, then you should not toggle this on. That's unless you want RankMath to install the code for you. But in that case, you want to remove the code from your plugin or theme. And then you can toggle this anonymized IP addresses so that your site's visitors' IP addresses will remain anonymous to you and everyone who has access to your site's data. This protects yourself and your site visitors from privacy issues. And then we have the self-hosted analytics.js file, and when turned on, the Google Analytics script will be hosted locally on your server and will update every 12 hours. This way, it will help boost the speed of your site as it will minimize the external data requests from Google every now and then. Next, you have the option to exclude you and your team's visit to your site so that the data will not be skewed. And then for AdSense, if you have applied for an AdSense account with the Gmail you have connected with RankMath and Google Analytics, you can connect it with RankMath here so that on your SEO Performance tab, you can see your AdSense revenue easily. And then you can decide the number of days to keep your analytics data on your server. By default, it is set to 90, but you can set the number of days to a maximum of 180 days. We recommend setting it to 180 days, and I'll explain why in a while. And then if you have multiple sites in the same Google account, you can monitor all the data on a centralized dashboard. That will look like this, where you will see the analytics overview for each of your sites when you click on the websites tab in your RankMath account. But personally, I like to keep them separate, so I will not toggle this on. Next, you have the option to pair Google Core Updates with your analytics graph like this. If you don't want these Core Updates indicators, you can toggle this off. By default, this is on, and there is a good reason for it, which I will explain why in a while. And then we have this option to toggle the front-end stats bar, which are these page-specific stats that appear when you visit a page on your site. Don't worry, these will not appear to your site visitors. It will only appear to logged-in users. If you don't want to see these stats, you can simply hide it by clicking on this, or if you want to permanently remove it from all of your posts, just click on this cross and the stats bar will be gone. If you want it to appear again, simply toggle this on. And then, especially for agencies and freelancers who want to send automatic reports to your clients, you can toggle this on. Select the email address to receive the reports. If you want to send to multiple recipients, simply add a comma, following that the email address. Add your email report subject. That's the email heading you'll see when you open up your email. Add your logo, choose your brand color, provide a link to the full report in the email, add some text to describe your report, and eventually the email will look like this. Alright, once everything is done, save changes, and you should see a green dot right beside the Search Console and Analytics. Awesome! Now that we have all the analytics settings in place, let's talk about how to make the most out of RankMath's analytics module. To access the analytics module, simply hover to RankMath and Analytics. And this is your analytics dashboard where you will catch a glimpse of your current site's performance. You can choose the time frame of the data to be displayed. It is set to 30 days by default, meaning you will see data from the past month. Feel free to select the time frame for your analytical needs. New data will be fetched from Google every 3 days for RankMath Pro users and above, while the data will update every 7 days for free users. Now for the overall optimization section, you will get a bird's eye view of all your post optimization levels. You see on your post list, whenever you optimize your articles through our SEO analysis checks, we will score your content out of 100 to see if your article is well optimized for search engines. To know how to get 100 on the SEO score, feel free to check out this video right here. The link is in the description. Alright, all these scores you see on the post list will be aggregated to this overall optimization panel. So in case you have multiple authors on your site and you see there are pages that are not optimized or poorly optimized, you can click on the category and tell the author of this page, hey, do the work and optimize the page for SEO. Back to the dashboard, if you click on this open report, it will bring you to the site analytics tab, which we will discuss later. Let's do this step by step. Next, you will have an overview of the search performance. If you have RankMath Pro and above, we fetch the data from Search Console and Google Analytics and track a lot more data, so we can give you information such as search traffic. But if you are on the free version, we only fetch data from the Search Console and can only provide you with the information such as search clicks. Now, if you click on Open Report, it will give you more detailed information about your site's performance on this SEO Performance tab. Next, as we scroll down, you will see the Keyword Report Overview. This is an extension of the Keywords tab that shows all the keywords your site is ranking for up to the 100th position. If a keyword's rank at the 101 position, it will not be in this report. Now on the free version of the Analytics dashboard, you will not see the top 5 winning and losing keywords. While on the Pro version, you will get this information, where you will get a glimpse of the top 5 winning and losing keywords, together with the track keywords. If you are here to figure out which keywords you should optimize right now, view the top winning keywords to optimize for revenue and view the top losing keywords to optimize for search rankings. Next, we have the keywords positions. That will give you an overview of your current search result standings. You will know the number of keywords that are ranked at the top 3 positions, between the positions of 4 to 10, and the number of keywords that are ranking at the 10 to 50 positions. These are the current data, and a bar graph gives you historical data so you can identify trends based on the timeline you have selected. Similarly, as you click on Open Report, it will bring you to the Keywords tab of the Analytics module. And finally, right below, we show you the top 5 winning posts as well as the top 5 losing posts, together with all data in relation to the time frame you have selected, so you know which posts or articles you should optimize at a glance. You can click on this 3 dots icon to display or hide the data column accordingly. Alright, now that we know what to expect from the dashboard, let's dive deeper into each of the data reports. You know how 20% of your posts generates 80% of your traffic? SEO is a tough nut to crack, and getting consistent visitors is no easy feat. But here's the real challenge: retaining that traffic. With limited time and resources, it's crucial to focus your SEO efforts on the big wins, whether that means getting new keywords by creating more content or maintaining your current ones by updating your old content. Enter the Site Analytics tab that is designed to help you concentrate your SEO work on your site's most important posts. You will need the Pro version of RankMath to view all the data on this tab. Right at the top, you will see a visual representation of the number of posts that are well optimized, which means all the posts that scored 81 and above against the SEO analysis checks we have. The number of posts that scored between 51 to 80 will be categorized as fair score. Posts that scored 50 and below will be categorized in the poor score category, and those posts where you haven't entered a focus keyword or have not led the SEO score process will be categorized under no data. If you want specific data of a particular post, feel free to search the post URL or type a keyword and some search results will appear. And like what we have discussed in the dashboard, you can select the data related to a specific time frame. Next, here comes the data related to the content of the site. You can display the data based on a specific post type, like to display the data only for the post, And these are all the posts. And you can show or hide these data columns accordingly. What I find useful is that in a glance, I will be able to see which posts are well optimized for SEO or not. The schema markups each post, page, or products have, and if you find something that is missing, for example on all of your posts, you are supposed to have a FAQ page schema markup, but you don't find one on these posts, you now have an action item. Or if you scan through the links data, and if you see 0 in any of the data, it means this piece of content needs further optimization. What you are seeing here is the external links, which means the number of external pages this page is linking out to. The internal links, which means the number of internal pages this page is linking to. And incoming links, which means the number of internal pages that are linking to this page. If you see 0 in any of these data, it means this piece of content needs further optimization. And the best part of this is the data sorting. Let me expand to all the post type. If you want to know all the pages that do not have a good SEO score, just click on the data column. Right now you're seeing a downward arrow, which means the data is sorted in descending order. Click again, and now the upward arrow means it is sorted in ascending order. And now you'll be able to see all the pages that do not have an SEO score or having a poor SEO score. You can even sort other columns as well. Now, let's talk about one of the most important data of all, which is the post-specific data. If I want to know all the analytics data related to this specific article, just click on it, and you will see all the data related to it, including the keywords this article is ranking for, its past and current performance, denoted by the graph, how popular your target keyword is as per Google Trends. As we have said in most of our videos, whenever you see data on a Google's Trends graph, regardless of how the trend looks like, it means the targeted keyword has search volume. And then we have the index status to see if this post is indexed on the search engines. We will go deeper into the index status in a while. A snippet of the loading speed on both mobile and desktop, together with its page speed score. If a page has earned badges awarded by RankMath, they will be lighted up like this. Otherwise, they will be in grayscale like this. The first badge is awarded to the page that has the most search traffic across your site. The second badge is awarded to the page that has the most search impressions. The third badge is awarded to the page that has gotten the most clicks. And the fourth is awarded to the page that has gotten the most ranked keywords. Then it will display all the schema markups found on the page, as well as the primary focus keyword of the page. The content score is the score received after running this article through our SEO analysis checks. And this SEO score is the score obtained from running your site through the SEO analyzer, as well as the page speed score. Anyway, out of all these data, I find that the most important one lies in the keywords this article is ranking for. Because through these keywords, you will be able to identify primary and secondary search intent. For example, you see all these keywords here, some are getting more impressions and clicks, while some are not. And this means that there is a potential for this article to rank for all these keywords. But for some reason, maybe Google has not verified your site as trustworthy in their eyes, or maybe this article is not well written enough to answer the search intent of all these keywords. There could be many reasons. But if you read through your content and it answers the search intent of these keywords, and you're providing easily consumed information, eventually your article will rank well for these keywords. But if it is not answering the search intent of those keywords, it calls for a rewrite, update, or further optimization of your content. However, there is something I would like to highlight that might be helpful to you. For example, this 5 best charcoal grills to cook up a storm article is ranking for keywords such as best high-end charcoal grills, high-quality charcoal grills, and it is fetching quite a number of impressions and clicks. And suddenly, you see that it is ranking for some keywords that has a totally different search intent. For example, cheap or budget charcoal grills. And those keywords are not doing so well. Now, there are 2 ways to deal with this. First, you can either optimize this article to satisfy the cheap and budget search intent by adding a section to your article that says maybe best budget charcoal grills under $100 and you list all the cheap charcoal grills. Or another better way is to create a new page that targets the cheap and budget search intent, because anyway, this page is not ranking so well for these keywords, and a new page could possibly do a better job at answering the opposing search intent. I hope this makes sense to you. Anyway, let me go through the meaning of each of these data columns in case you're not familiar with them. Now, impressions could mean different things if you compare the data you see on Google Search Console and in the data from RankMath. Because in Google Search Console, it considers all traffic sources such as search, discover, or news. But for the impression in RankMath, it is straightforward. It is the number of times this article is appearing for each of these keywords. For example, if somebody searches for best charcoal grills and this article is ranking on the 15th position of that keyword, which means page 2. If that person didn't visit page 2 of the search results, it is not considered an impression because your article did not appear for that person. However, if that person visits page 2, which means your article is loaded on the search results page, it counts as an impression. If that person clicks on the article, it counts as a click. As for the position, it shows the current rank position for the keyword. Another helpful data is the position history. For example, if you have stretched the timeline to 6 months and you are seeing a downward trend for the keyword, for example, the keyword was ranking on the first page, but now it is pushed back to the second page or third page, it gives an indicator that your article may not be satisfying the search intent for that keyword. Maybe the information of the article is outdated, or if there is new information you're not providing in your article, so it's time to read through that article again and see if there's any optimization opportunity so you can get back the ranking and traffic. Now, there's one more useful tip for you. You see, currently we are on a 6-month time frame, and this article was ranking for this keyword. Are air fryers more energy efficient? But as you toggle to the 30 days time frame, you realize that the keyword is not appearing on the list anymore. This means that your page has either lost ranking for that keyword or the current ranking position for that keyword is more than 100, so it is not listed here. In that case, you want to do the same thing. Read and optimize for the search intent of that lost keyword. Alright, we have gone through the Site Analytics tab. Now let's visit the SEO Performance tab. The data in the SEO Performance is all about monitoring your site's overall search ranking and traffic performance. And the best part about this is that your data is integrated with the Google Search Update timeline, making it easier for you to know if your site is punished by a Google update or if it is rewarded. Need more information about an update? Just click on it and it will show you a snippet of what the update is about. We have included both the unconfirmed and confirmed update on the timeline. Need more information about this update? Just click on read more and you will have all the information you need. It's intuitive, right? Now, if your site is ever punished by a Google update, let's cross our fingers and touch wood on that. But if that really happens, we highly recommend that you watch this video right here as we have shared the steps for you to overcome the drop in ranking and traffic. The link is in the description. Anyway, similar to the other data tabs, you can select the time frame for comparison. If you choose, for example, 30 days, and let's say that today is the 30th of April, this means that this entire graph and the data numbers here are aggregated numbers for the period of April. And because there is only 30 days in April, this data set is compared with the data set of prior 30 days, which is from 2nd March to 31st March. And the difference in the data will be displayed here. I hope this is easy for you to understand. And for example, if you have selected a time frame of 6 months, this entire data set will be compared with the data set from prior 6 months. However, if the analytics database settings we have discussed earlier is set to 90, the maximum data set that is stored on your server is doubled to 180 days worth of data, which is only 6 months worth of data. So if you select the 6 months time frame, there is no data for it to compare with. That's why if you intend to use the 6 months time frame, make sure that you set the analytics database to 180 and remember to save changes. Anyway, search traffic is self-explanatory. It means the total traffic generated on your site as a direct result of people clicking on your search results. This includes all the search clicks, plus the additional page views those clicks generated. Search impressions is the same as what we have discussed earlier, so I will not say it again. Total keywords represents the total number of keywords your site is ranking for in the given period. The search clicks data are included in the search traffic. Now you see currently the search clicks are not presented on the graph. If you want it to show, just click on it and the line for search clicks will appear. So any data you want to display or hide, just click on the relevant data slab. CTR means click-through rate, and it is the average click-through rate of all the keywords you are ranking for. The formula is search clicks divided by the search impressions. But in general, what it simply means is the rate of people who click on your article when it appeared on their search. Any number that is above 1.5% is a good click-through rate. This site is not doing so well because it is not maintained. As for the average position, it is self-explanatory as well. It is the average ranking for all the keywords your site has ranked for in the selected time period. So all these data here are presented this way so that you intuitively know how your site is performing against core updates. Right below the graph, you will see the top 5 winning or losing posts that you see on the analytics dashboard. And below that, it is all the data related to the content of your site. Similarly, if you want the data of a specific page, just click on it and you will see the same page specific data we have talked about earlier. Alright, it's kinda easy to understand these data, right? If you have any questions or you are confused about anything, feel free to ask them in the comment section. Now, let's talk about the Keywords tab. The Keywords tab is a consolidation of all the keywords your site is ranking for. And again, it only shows keywords that are ranking below 100. Keywords that rank above the 100 positions will not be displayed, and this is a good thing because that way you can focus on the keywords that matter. It will show you the number of keywords ranking in the top 3 position, keywords ranking between 4th to the 10th position, meaning on the first page but below the 3rd position, and keywords that rank on page 2 of the search results ranking page and onwards. For a visual representation, this bar graph will show you a percentage of the pages on each ranking bracket. Similar to what you see on the SEO Performance tab, you can click on the data slab and the results of it will either be hidden or displayed on the bar graph. What's useful is you can compare the current keyword performance against historical data and see a difference in a trend. For example, currently we are in the 30 days time frame. Let's say in the 3rd week of March, we have published a lot of new content. But why isn't it gaining more keywords in the 1st week of April? Time to check if the new pages are indexed. Or maybe we have been focusing on doing internal linking for existing articles where the keywords are ranking from page 2 onwards in the 3rd week of March. But in the 1st week of April, we are losing rankings. Why? Are our internal linking strategies not working? You see, it's all about how you interpret the data given to make an informed decision on your next steps. Next, we have the same graph we see on the SEO Performance tab, so I won't describe it again. Then we have the top 5 winning and losing keywords that shows the keywords that have experienced the largest increase or decrease in search positions in the selected time frame. And finally, the rest of the keywords and its relevant data. If you want to know the page that is ranking for this keyword, just click on it and it will display the page information together with its performance data. So you see, there are some repetitiveness, but the general idea is the Keywords tab is to sort and group all the data by keywords. The SEO Performance is meant to sort and group everything by the list of contents on your site. And the purpose of the site analytics is to give you an easy overview to know which content you should optimize for SEO. I hope you see the purpose for each tab and their usefulness. Next, let's talk about probably the most important feature of all, which is the rank tracker. Now, if you have been paying for a rank tracking service, you know it is expensive. Some sites charge $20 to $50 a month to track 500 keywords, and that's about $240 to $600 for just one rank tracking feature. If you dig deep enough, you know what I'm talking about. But if you compare what RankMath can do, we track 500 keywords in the Pro version of RankMath. It costs a lot less than other rank tracking services, and it provides a whole lot more features, making it a cost-effective way to manage your SEO efforts. The business plan and the agency plan are meant for freelancers, agencies, and businesses that manage their own or other people's sites. The business plan tracks 10,000 keywords, while the agency plan tracks 50,000 keywords. So you be the judge. What's more cost-effective for your business and operations? Now, the Rank Tracker tab. It provides you with a visual representation of the top ranking keywords by default. And if you want a particular keyword to be displayed on this graph, just go to the keyword and click on this icon and a representation of it will appear. You can display up to a total of 6 keywords on a graph. If this is your first time visiting Rank Tracker, you may not find any keywords here, and you will need to start adding keywords by clicking on this Add button and placing your keywords here. Alternatively, you can have RankMath automatically add keywords for you when you click on this Auto Add Focus Keywords button and you toggle this feature on. As you do that, RankMath will add the primary focus keyword that you have added on your post for tracking. And if you want RankMath to automatically include the secondary keywords for tracking as well, you can go back to the feature and check this box. You can also choose to automatically track the keywords that are added on the particular post type. Similarly, if you want to know the page that is ranking for this particular keyword, just click on it and the data will appear. Now, if you want to remove tracking for a particular keyword, hover to the keyword and click on the red trash bin, and the keyword will be removed. Deleting the keyword does not remove its data. You can add the same keyword back to the list and everything will be intact. Now, something interesting for you to consider. Using the search function, you can easily create topical relevance. For example, I want to know all the keywords my site is ranking for that contain the keyword bamboo. So I will search for it and all the related keywords will appear. Expand each of these keywords. You see, the keywords are from different pages. Are they internally linked to each other? Can we use these ranked keywords as anchor text for the links? As you build internal links using this method, you may create a strong topical relevance that may help your overall site get better rankings and traffic. Alright, I hope you see the usefulness of our analytics module. Let's talk about the final feature we have, which is the index status tab. Now, without accessing your Google Search Console, you'll be able to access the indexing status of your pages. Troubleshooting your site for indexing issues is now much easier. It will show you the number of pages and its percentage that are submitted and indexed, and all the issues that are preventing your page from being indexed. Your site's indexing issues may be different from mine. You will see all these information consolidated to this graph that makes it easy for you to identify and troubleshoot the URLs on your site. You can use this filter feature to sort those pages based on your indexing issues, and on each page, it will show you the status. If the page is indexed, you will see a green tick here. If there is nothing blocking the page from being indexed, you will see a green tick here. If your page is mobile friendly, it will show a green tick here as well. Together with the reach results this page has earned. And to know why a page is not indexed, let me sort it by crawled but not indexed, and then go to the page data, and then hover to the page row and click on it, and more data will appear. If you are having trouble trying to figure out a solution, don't worry, we have a detailed guide for you that includes all the common issues. You can check this page out with this link. We have left it in the video description as well. We have your best interests. Now, if you see the Google canonical and your canonical URL is different, this may indicate that this page may have duplicated content. I know canonical URLs might seem complicated, but they are actually very simple. If Google find multiple pages that seem to be duplicates, they will not rank all your pages. They'll just pick one to rank. So if Google canonical and your canonical is different, it means Google thinks the contents of these pages are duplicate, and Google decides to rank this page instead. So focus on optimizing this page and have a permanent redirect from this page to this. I hope this is easy for you to understand. And finally, if you think this page should be indexed, there is no reason for it not to be indexed, you can submit the URL with instant indexing. If you want to learn more about instant indexing, you can visit this page on our site to find out more. This is the link. We have added it in the description as well. So we hope you see the usefulness of our analytics module, and remember, the data is as good as what you interpret. If I present all the data for you in the most efficient way and you don't do anything with it, the data is practically useless. But if you take the time to interpret the data, you can easily formulate a plan for your next steps. If you have any questions or you feel confused about anything, feel free to ask them in the comments, and if you find this video helpful, how about a thumbs up, huh? Anyway, this is Jack from RankMath, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on our upcoming videos. So make sure to subscribe to our channel to grow and scale your SEO efforts.